Start. The camera is set on a city across from the GIC. Large and dense, packed with people and places. Its crowning buildings jutting high into the sky, bright and prestige. The text then pastes onto the screen, big, bold, and quickly. Polympia, Tezu, Canada, Inkwell. It holds for a little while longer, just enough for the white smoke to curl into frame. The camera snaps forward, now in the city looking out towards the ocean. It's out of line of sight, but the smoke rising into the air says it clearly. On the border between the land and the sea, there's a fire. A vast airship sweeps into view, rushing past the camera, and then it cuts. We see a map of a city on the wall. Abstract and governmental. Key places are marked with a blue light bulb. One bulb is a light on the city, while another off to the side is lit too, brightly. Next to it shows the icon of a sharp-mouthed beast. People run back and forth across the board in frame. Another cut. We now see legs striding a metal hall, heeled boots clicking amongst the busy sounds of preparations. We see a severe-looking toon woman, dark skin, focused eyes, short hair with a band of white running around her head. She stands on the balcony and calls down to an assembled crowd below. Others, toon and not, cluster into groups. Some half hauling heavy gear or looking through final arcade scrolls. Group 1 and 2, be ready to run ground. Group 3, be on standby. We've got suspected word of an elemental in the area, so we're pushing Astirs onto stopping that immediately. We have to control the situation and get people out. We are not going to be... Hello everybody and welcome to Playing with Fire, a Toonkind one-shot. I am Liz, your director for the game, and we will be playing Armour Astir by Briar Sovereign. I am joined by 3 players today, and can you please introduce yourselves and your characters briefly from top to bottom?
That leaves me first. Hello, I'm the Jazziest AAA battery, this side of the county line, or just Jazz for short. Today I am playing Uno, who is Uno is they're a construct instead of being, organic. And decently skilled Astir pilot, I think. Though not many people approve of that. It's just it doesn't sit right. You're supposed to have, a living pilot for the non-living mech. You're not supposed to have both in the non-living column. That doesn't sound good. But they've made it thus far.
Hey there, I am Morskijez, also known as Morskijez. On today's day, I bring over my not-so-little lad Aiolos, who is a grumpy street urchin who actually isn't a street urchin anymore. And, he's a real kind kid, 17-year-old. And, he has a backpack, people think, except it's alive, and it's not actually an it's a he. And Onigiri here has some rather sharp teeth, but seems to be rather fond of this kid, so they make it work.
Hi, my name is TraditionalPreference, also known as Trad, and I am playing Theodore Galmos, who is also an Astir pilot, unexpectedly competent one. He is not a robot. He's just a very enthusiastic, very definitely not a bootleg character. Yes. He's primarily responsible for turning the street urchin into an airship urchin.
Yeah.
Oh, what a wonderful group. It was so great just hashing these guys out with you. Oh. Anyway, a little bit more establishing. Armour Astir is a Powered by Apocalypse game about fantasy, mechs, and conflict. The book wonderfully outlines what the conflict is structured like for the game, but for the sake of this one shot and its inspirations, I tweaked the ideas slightly. With that being said, and the fact that this is a Powered by Apocalypse game, I shall read my agendas, also a bit tweaked from the book, and principles as a director, as most Powered by the Apocalypse games has a few phrases that help you ground yourself in the terms of the book and what kind of story you're gonna tell. Our agenda, or my agenda, is to portray a world entrenched in fiction, let the players make a difference, and play to find out what happens. And my principles are to give conflict weight, begin and end with the fiction, fight wars with words sometimes, address the characters, not the players, build something diverse, ask questions and use the answers. If you can't pull punches if you don't throw them, make moves off screen, keep things magical. Those are the things that I'm going to be floating at the back of my mind and framing as we continue with this game. And as I said, jumping back into the fiction, the captain is calling for Astirs to be deployed in this setting, in this space. Astirs are these huge constructs that people can pilot, and those who pilot it are usually called channelers. The captain spoke about elementals being in the area that the airship is traveling towards, and elementals are these strange blue fire beings that are truly alive and truly dangerous. But other members of the orders that are not channelers, who are not pilots of these constructs, are also preparing to make their way down to help underground. So, with that being said, give me some images of your characters before being deployed to the West Wharf.
Well,
Are we going in order again, or?
I was. If we are, I guess. I know it's supposed to be our own characters, but if I'm being honest, all I can imagine is Theodore and God names. Aiolos.
Yeah, Aiolos.
Yeah.
It's just like Aiolos in tow, you know. Because like of the two of them, I feel like Theodore is the one who's much more inclined to just drag the child.
Honestly, probably starts out with Aiolos being dragged before, like, okay, yeah. Probably slips out to the grass and is walking beside Theo.
Is this before the alarm, or like as we're getting ready to go?
As we're getting ready to go.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Theodore was sort of like standing by, like jiggling their foot.
Theodore and Uno were playing cards.
Huh?
Theodore and Uno were playing cards.
Yes. Aiolos was watching and giving commentary.
Theodore was playing cards, definitely not agitatedly. And when the alarm sounds, and then the captain calls for us, Theodore does not eagerly throw down their cards and then says, "That's us! All right, come on, let's go!" And jumps up, grabs the kids by the arm, and starts pounding towards the hangars.
Uno takes a moment to pick up the deck of cards and just slips them into like a chest cavity or whatever. We're following after.
Yeah, Aiolos is definitely grumbling.
Mm-hmm.
Onigiri might have tried to swipe a card, but because Theo just kind of pulled Aiolos off. That was foiled, luckily. And I think, like, honestly, I feel like as he's being dragged along, like, Aiolos will take a moment to just make sure that, yeah, everything he needs is in Oningiri's hammer space, and, like, there's a moment where I imagine we're, like, looking at Theo from the front, and you just see the back of Aiolos, but a pipe comes out, goes back in. Is that a gun? Goes back in. A hammer. Oh, hey, that's a nice sword. They'll go back in. And Kid just makes sure that the knife up his sleeve is set properly before he slips out of Theo's grasp and is walking beside him.
As he's checking, Theo comments on what he's doing. He's like, comm check. Make sure you've got your emergency fire or something, beacon.
Technobabble is hard on the fly.
Yeah, definitely. He says a bunch of very relevant. He references a bunch of very relevant things, mostly in regards to, like, hey, if something happens and you screw up, make sure, like, it's don't die equipment. Plus, call me, you fool child, or Uno. Call me or Uno, or everyone else.
You know what happens? You know their responses. It's like, got that. I'll be stealing that one from the hangar in a moment. And to the call me or Uno, you fool child, there's just a pause, and we'll see.
Yeah, we will see, because you are going to do Uno, tell the kid. The kid's doing the thing again.
Do you plan on getting in trouble?
No.
There we go.
Yeah, but it could still happen.
Well,
Udo will offer, like, a communication device, by the way. For this link.
Okay, yeah, like, Alex is just, slips it up his upper sleeve.
Gives a thumbs up.
Thumbs up back.
Oh man.
The kid took it. It worked.
Alright.
You might be getting a smug knife cat face. Like a very minor one. Theodore after a thumbs up given to Uno.
Oh man. No, yeah. With all of you heading to the hangar, and assumingly preparing to get deployed. It's time to make a roll. Well, soon I will say there's definitely, like, it's busy. Like, there's people doing final checkups on your respective machinery and stuff. I don't know if you guys handle your own Astirs, like, yourselves, or if you have help from specific mechanics and stuff. But there's still people busy and, dragging stuff that was stored here to other more appropriate deploy spaces. Especially not only are the Astirs here, but also the more, like, smaller personalized, like, terrain machinery. There's a specific name which I forgot for them, but they're also there's like the cool motorbike kind of stuff, or all terrain vehicle.
I'm just imagining
Nice.
the construction suit from Alien.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Like, it's not quite an Astir, but, like, Sure, it's
but
a support vehicle.
yeah.
Vehicle quotation marks.
It's a vehicle if you think hard enough. I also like the image of like the captain having to go, like going past the hangars and checking up on stuff, and just like seeing you guys getting ready to suit up, and then just having to taking a look at Aiolos, and just like you see her deflate a little bit, and then just almost bite her tongue, and then look to Uno and Theodore, look to you two, and then just like give a sharp nod, and then turn towards the helm.
Uno gives a 2-fingered salute.
Theodore gives a full-fingered salute.
Nice.
I think there is like a pause, but Aiolos does give a nod to the captain.
Right, let's get this started. When it's time for action and you lead a sortie, decide who planned the mission and roll. We can get a little loose with that, because technically the captain probably planned the mission, but if anyone is feeling like they're gonna take the lead on what to do first, I guess they are going to be the one who steps up and rolls these dice. Specifically, decide on who planned the mission and roll. Roll with the stat plus no if you're leading with wits or following a clever plan, plus crew if it was somebody else aboard, or plus the 5 if you're heading into danger blind. Yeah, we can also just defy it onto plus crew, which would be a +1, because that is the crew stat.
I feel like, considering this team, Defy is probably going to be what's rolled. Possibly. I can tell you Aiolos isn't leading. If anything, I think there's like a quiet moment of scuffling as like this trio decides like, okay, now with whom is Aiolos going to ride?
That is fair.
I think I feel like Uno. I feel like Uno's mech probably is bigger.
Probably.
And has more space.
Yeah.
But
there's tubes to grab onto, but
they've probably trained with either one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, yeah.
I'd say, if you want to roll to lead the sortie, you can. I feel
Roll
they're kind of
Defy?
going. Yeah, I feel like they're kind of going back on. They're jumping into training, like trained mode. Like, yes, time to do the thing that we know how to do.
All right. I just hope the dice say we know how to do.
2d6 plus roll.
2d6, and then my Defy is a +2.
Oh fuck!
We
fuck
know
yeah.
how to do the thing.
You know how to do the fucking thing.
Yay!
That is a 4 + 6 + 2. That is a 12 on the dice. On a 10 plus, you make it into action unscathed.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, you.
Hey!
Also, you mentioned briefly your Astirs, your MECHS. Una, do you want to describe your mech?
I can do that. So Una has the bigger mech of the two of them. I wrote a blurb down here. So it's made of like shifting panels, and it's got a lot of tubing that weaves in and out and around. And honestly, it makes the mech overall look a little like, an organic creature. And like the pilot pod areas has the mech itself has like red accents to it. So like there's like a red glass over the pod, and like the tubing itself is all red as well. So, like I said, it just gives it more of an a lot more of an organic feel than you'd expect from a machine. And like the cockpit itself, because that panel, like the entrance is colored in that red way, it almost kind of looks like Uno is like the heart of the machine in a way.
Mm.
Yes.
Very good, very funky.
Very tasty.
While we're on Mech and Astor thoughts, Theodore, do you want to describe what you pilot?
Great. Yes, the description I definitely have
Listen.
prepared. So Theodore's mech is smaller than Uno's. It is sort of white with red accents, and I'd say maybe around like 15-ish feet. It's got a lot of like really dynamic shapes, and it has like big guards sort of over the arms, and funky weapons, and it's partially open in the front, so it's not Theodore isn't like fully going and like being enclosed into the machine. It's partially open in the front, and the cover can retract, like the face shield can retract, and if he wants to interact with something physically or do things, it's the Matoy tech.
Listen, we're allowed to wear inspirations on the sleeve. Matoy Matoy Mech. What? How's it pronounced again? Matoy Tech?
Yeah, well, it's the Matoy Tech version of his base, like firefighting mech. Remember, because Lucia, it's just like, yeah, let's do this. And Ignis was like, "What are you doing?"
I am the one person here who hasn't watched Promare.
Yeah, I was about to say we can.
Your beans. Yeah.
Had you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's affectionately.
You can always slide that into the chat so people can see. But yeah, that is the basis of the mech. But that being said, with your two Asters displayed and prepped and ready, the doors open and you are indeed in the wharf area. Let me just get this up. I said the West Wharf area earlier. That was a mistake. I might just re-say that again. But the Northern Wharf does not stand up to its sibling on the south, but it still provides business to those who live here. And you can argue that there is quite a lot. Because despite the small area that is mostly warehouses, cranes, and the docks, it is a very tall area. Buildings are stacked on top of one another like Jenga, and it looks just as precarious as the tower near the end of the game. It's a coin toss if a building is in use or it's not, but it all pastes together to make this vertical maze-like wall with a sliver of level open ground by the ocean, and roads that weave through the buildings, giving enough space for trucks to move back and forth here. This is a pretty crowded area, but the carrier is able to again put you by a dock and deploy the Asters safely. And indeed, you can also see other groups just rushing out and like targeting an area where a big swath of like boathouses and warehouses are just up in this blue roaring flame that sort of curls and like flickers out throughout the areas. However, you all hear through your communication devices the voice of the captain saying, "Remember, there's a elemental in the area. Make sure to check and deal with that as soon as possible." So, with that, what do you do?
Let's fucking launch.
Honestly, from like where Aiolos is at with Uno, I think his first suggestion is, do we go into the warehouse to take a closer look? Because that's where the obvious fire is.
So, sorry, Theodore's giving me, sounds like a plan, little man.
Aiolos just going, oi.
Uno, you want to go up top, and I'll bust in through the normal door.
Sure, I can. Well,
Kid, which way you want to go?
just like, all right, I'll jump off from the mech onto one of the boxes while we bust in.
Alrighty. So wait, is the plan to just go straight into the burning warehouse building?
Yeah.
Okay. To me, that sounds like a weather the storm. Yeah. Weather the storm is the move that reads, when you weather the storm to do something safely under pressure, roll either defy to dodge, tough it out, or strong arm your way through, no to make it through quick thinking or ace up the sleeve, or sense to notice quiet cues, signs of danger, or bad vibes before it's too late. Despite being in these large and powerful machines or constructs, you do have to be careful about a burning building, specifically of this weirdly magical kind. So before you do anything, you will usually have to weather the storm to be safe.
That makes sense. So all of us have to roll that then?
Yes, let me do a check, because if everyone is doing that, that sounds like a group move. When everyone would be performing the same move, you should make instead a group move. When performing a group move, the person participating with the lowest relevant stat to make the roll, the person with the lowest relevant trait makes the roll, but anyone participating counts as doing so. So if there's any bonuses people would have to this roll, they can apply it to the group move. So if anyone had anything that would help with like weathering the storm type move, or
Defy +2 on my end.
Yeah, same over here. Defy +2.
Also
Senses also
nice.
This team is very stubborn. You can tell they're all anime protagonists.
I am quickly just checking through your all of your specific moves to see if anything could assist you in this role.
I've Liz, by the way, I've prepared just the 3 base rituals.
Oh shit, yes.
Yeah, I've just prepared one of each, and we'll figure it out from there.
Gotcha. And then, it does not seem like anyone has a thing with weathering the storm, so anyone, roll that dice +2.
Kid?
Alright. What am I rolling?
You're rolling 2d6 +2.
Okay.
That is a 9. Okay.
I got both the lowest and the highest.
Duality. On a 7 to 9, you succeed, but at some cost. It will keep you distracted longer than you thought. The director will ask you to make a difficult choice, or you'll burn a point of spotlight as you take dramatic action.
I guess, do you have anything in particular in mind?
You're just going through the smaller door, right? Like the sort of like general like entrance of this space.
Yeah.
Since this is like we are going into a burning building, you could do a spotlight thing where there's like a moment where one of us has to pull Aiolos out as things start collapsing.
That is fair, but
yeah.
But with the thing with the 7 to 9 is you still get the thing. It's just there is some sort of hindrance.
Something happens.
Yeah, it's just there's some sort of compromise.
Okay.
I'm just double checking because it said in the write up that.
What if instead of Aiolos sort of jumping off and sort of being on his own and more like independent in the warehouse, after he jumps off of Uno and one of two, like something starts collapsing and Theodore has to run and grab him.
Yeah, like Aiolos lands down, but maybe one of the beams start falling, so he has to move back, and like that's when Theodore finds him. So
okay, I think I've got something. I'm just gonna give you a difficult choice based around that. Like you're able to sort of like pull your coat closer and just like rush through into the building, and you're able to see like there are boats, there are crates, and it was still in the middle of being a working space, but it is just torture flame with this neon blue. You don't see any people, you don't hear anybody yelling, anybody coughing, any silhouettes. It's just it's torched, but you know that if you spend some more time in this space, you will be able to sort of like gather the nature of like is this the heart of where you have to start attacking in order to sort of like stop this flame, or is this sort of like a dead end that you can like get later? But then that's going to be a case because everyone around you, like everyone here, or Aiolos and Theo, you can tell that the ceiling is starting to cave in. So you can either stay here and be separated from the group, but you're able to then sort of do that further check. You'll be able to do what is the name of the role? Read the room. Or you can not be separated and just step back. But you will not get that further information.
Mm-hmm.
I say stay because we're here to fight the elementals.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Aiolos is giving me like just he'd like to stay and check out the room. Danger? He'll dodge out the way.
That is fair. So you like step back, making sure you're not tripping anything, and indeed the sort of cracking amongst the crackling flames sounds us from above, and a huge just wooden beam just shatters into splinters onto the ground, but then another one falls and another one falls, and soon the entrance to this place is cut off by normal mundane means. So you cannot get the discern the true sort of space that was inside of the warehouse, but you are not separated from your group.
Okay.
Is there any other moves or actions that people in this group would like to make?
You said if we wanted to investigate like the warehouse, that would be read the room.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't not Theodore.
Right. Yes.
You have a
Theodore
bad.
sense is -2.
Oh.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
Aiolos? What does Aiolos have for?
I think
Aiolos
Aiolos has
has-
the highest.
Yeah, +2.
Yeah,
Aiolos
okay.
has a +2 descent. Shall I roll for the
Yeah,
lad?
let Aiolos do it.
What does it look like? What is Aiolos trying to get a beat on? Of course, not inside of the warehouse. You're now like standing on the sort of like thin, long area of coast. Oh, I forgot to send the images. The thin, long,
Oh,
thin, long areas of the dock. When I was describing this area being very tall, I was thinking of specifically the city in the film My Father's Dragon. It's set in a big city, and there is a dock space that has these absolutely just cartoonishly
bonkers.
tall buildings
like
with
that,
like overhangs, and
That rules.
it's
Wild.
extremely good.
yeah.
That is very good.
Look at that.
And then this one is what I was talking about when I said the space had sort of like cranes and stuff of.
A little like
Yeah.
Coruscant vibes with like everything's just on top of each other.
Yeah. Just it's a whole mismatch.
Yeah, for recording's sake, this is the concept art from My Father's Dragon, done by Alice Dionde. They are very, very, very good. But no, this is the sort of area that you guys are working in. And you got space to stand, and yeah, you can read the room in this area. But is there anything specific that Aiolos is like looking for, trying to sense out?
I guess first things first, where are the people right now? Is there anyone around here? If there is, where are they? Where are they running from? There's obviously fire in the warehouse, but is there any around it?
Okay, yeah.
Are there any other holes into the building and such? Those kind of things.
Okay.
Is there anyone running away screaming elemental?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Very fair. Make that roll. 2d6 plus sense.
Yeah, that's a +2. The dice were not kind to me.
Oh no. Okay. So theoretically, on a +10, hold 3. On a 7 to 9, hold 1, and spend it 1 for 1 to ask following questions. There are a list of questions that you could ask. However, on a failure, you may ask one of the questions above immediately, but the answer creates a problem or puts you in danger. So, which question do you want to ask?
Okay. One moment. I'm trying to read this.
If you, the questions are on that like reference doc that Liz updated with. If you need that.
I do have that, but I think the how it's written is kind of borked up.
That's fair. I can send you a screenshot for you.
Thank you. Because this is what I currently have right now, which isn't very readable. Okay.
Oh, you have it on a doc. Yeah, that'll do it. E.
Yeah. Yeah. E. I think I'll go with what is being overlooked or obscured here.
Interesting.
And along with that, he's looking at that, he's not paying attention to where he's standing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that was such a low roll.
Responsible scout.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're setting up for exactly what I was imagining when Liz was saying, like, the answer puts you in peril.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I heard that and I'm like, yeah, he is looking. He's also not looking at where he is standing right now.
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy.
So, what is being overlooked? You are surveying the scene, and yes, you are gathering, the fires and where it is and where's people, and you're looking at the damage, but you are looking at the damage and you realize that there are damages that wouldn't be susceptible to fire, and fire damage is not stuff about crumbling buildings or charcoaled, roofs and stuff like that. There's damage of, like, stuff being pushed away, stuff being shoved, stuff being crushed, and you would associate the stuff being pushed away and the stuff being sort of like, ripped at to be of what you would guess is the fire elemental, but the stuff being crushed reminds you of stuff of heavy artillery, heavy machinery, heavy constructs. So what is overlooked is that it's not just the fire and it's not just the elemental causing issues in this area. There is something else. There's something more man-made.
Yeah, I think, like, as he is surveying this, he's going to call to the other two and relay this information to them, just like, seems like someone else was here causing damages. This looks like work from perhaps a construct as well.
Yeah. And
Wait, so is that information we have, or is that information we're overlooking?
That's information you have. You have
Yes.
gathered that information. That was the stuff that was initially being overlooked. So since you did roll a 6 on that, though, sorry, I need to double check what it means by put you in danger, because I know that has a specific term.
Oh boy.
Sorry, scroll down. Yes. The danger is when we talk about the when we talk about the man-made sort of physical damages that has happened here, there is a horrifying sound of metal, like, bending and breaking and screeching, and you look up and one of the cranes that is positioned by the dock, not too tall but still tall, is starting to fall and is falling towards you and Theodore. So what do you do?
Immediate reaction is shit. Next immediate reaction is yelling at Theodore to move, and
cool.
By any chance, Aiolos has the mobility skill.
That is true. Honest to God, I will give you that. You do have the mobility skill.
Great.
Do you want to read it out loud? Oh, I mean,
yeah.
Is it mobility or haste are you looking at?
Honestly, both are options. Like, so, Haste is just simply if there is a question of who acts first in a situation, the answer is you.
Mm-hmm.
So the shit happens immediate after, well, the yell of like swearing happens immediately as the screeching happens. And Aiolos is going to yell at Theodore to move. And he is then going to use mobility, which is when you're fighting somewhere with room to be acrobatic and mobile, roll defy.
Well, I hold I sorry. Yes, consider Theodore has mobility on his Astir. So if you do, I feel like if both of us do mobility, then that would mean like we would be separated. But if Theodore just did mobility on with Chicago, then they would still be like together on a group because right now Aiolos is just kind of riding along.
Yeah, could be. So like Aiolos uses haste to get the warning out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Theodore can mobility his way out and take them both out of danger.
Gotcha. All right, roll mobility.
Are we rolling? Are we doing real dice or?
Either. I mean, this works, and you can roll dice.
Cool.
But
Well, I just
click.
I just rolled dun 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 dun. So that's a 12 on the dice.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
We love to see it.
We love to see it. Yeah.
So I'm holding 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't 100% know what that means, but I sure am writing it down.
They're basically like free. You have 3 points. You get 3 things to not things.
Actions.
Yeah, you get 3 actions to spend from the list below. So the list being escape from something that binds, traps, or impedes you, acquire high ground or defensible position, get to somewhere or something before others can, and avoid an incoming source of physical harm. So
I wonder which one of those you're going to be taking.
Yeah, just maybe.
Yeah. Hold meaning like you don't have to you don't have to spend it all at once. You can hold it for as long as it's relevant to the scene.
I think so Theodore's obviously going to avoid an incoming source of physical harm. And
the metal crane falling ominously.
Spring out the way, cloud of dust. Hey, watch where you're throwing that thing. And he looks up and he yells at the source of like the crane. Does it look like there's anything up there that is doing this?
Listen. That sounds like you're doing the action read the room.
Cool.
Can I just say real quick? I imagine this happens, and when the dust clears, Aiolos is being held in one of the MECHS arms, but he's being held like upside down. There's just like, yeah,
You're
just
all right.
yeah,
Uno's
I'm
asking at the
fine.
both of them, but
Yeah, I'm fine. And there's like a bonk on the arm as Theo's just like muttering, "Hey, put me right side up."
Huh? Oh, yep. Sorry. Flip. Holding him in front like a plushy toy. As he
Aiolos looks like a disgruntled cat.
Perfect. But yeah, Theodore's like literally like right behind you, looking up at your shoulder because he retracts the visor and he leans out of the mech to look up at the look up sort of towards the source of where the crane fell. And are you ready for 2d6 minus 2?
Let's go! Remember,
Yeah.
empowered by the apocalypse. Wait, what?
6. I rolled 6 minus 2.
Great. Unfortunately, the law of the land of powered by the apocalypse is to do the thing, you do the thing, and unfortunately, you did the thing.
I super did. Yeah, he's leaning out of the mech. He's squinting. Like it would have been a lot more sensible to stay inside the mech because the visor has like zoom in or like anti-glare. But no, Theodore is fully just like leaning out the mech, squinting, hand up. It's like that shouldn't have fallen unless. And he's muttering to himself about like physics.
Mm-hmm. Cool, great, fun. Yeah.
What do you see?
Question. What's the question that you looking at, Theodore?
My question is did are there elementals up there knocking stuff around?
Okay.
That caused this to fall or that are making the mechanical damage?
Let me check here actually. Cause the thing about the okay. The thing is, because the way that Power this move works is that they want you to choose from the specific list, but
list. Yep, the list.
Would you say that where can I find X, where can I find the elemental works for what you're looking for?
It'd probably be what is being overlooked or obscured in reference to like, okay, yeah, so there's mechanical damage. How did that mechanical damage get here?
Okay, how did it get here?
Yeah.
So yeah, you will now like assured that there is something man-made here. So you are looking at the you are looking at the sort of falling crane, and you can tell that the damage made to it is very similar to a non-custom version of the weapon that you have on your Astir, like a similar kind of like force blade. So it's not just like a construct, something going in here and smashing, that you are pretty sure that there is an Astir in the mix of this situation.
Cool.
Offensive.
Theodore's gonna go on the comms if this is something that we can do, and ask the captain, hey captain, were other people deployed? Are we the first to the scene, or
you start hearing a report back saying, "It's only you guys, you two and the kids." What's going on?
There's super not, because it looks like we've got another Astir here.
Gus.
Did she say guts or Gus?
No, she said cuss.
Should we try and figure out who they are, or keep looking for the elemental?
The captain chimes in and says, are they from a stray group, or are they just walking through, or are they causing trouble?
Possibly causing trouble? I think they dropped a crane on us.
Okay, you need to figure out who that is and if they are engaging with you to also stop them. And people are our priority, so if they're harming people, stop them. If they're harming if the elemental's also harming people, you put a stop to that too. You're doing double duty, I guess. I'll pass this around to the rest of the ground team. And as the captain goes off of the comms, there is like this loud crashing like ocean sound. And like you're standing by the edge, and it almost feels like a huge wave has just erupted behind you. But there is then a glint as a blade just swings out and rakes the back of your Astir. Please take the I think, yeah, this is just gonna be a risk, but I'm trying to figure out what kind of risk this would be. Cause it's not gonna be...
He did lean out of the mech, so it could be bleeding.
They could be bleeding. Yeah, it could be, yeah. It's scary how precise it is, but sort of like your back gets like nicked ever so slightly by a sharp blade, and you don't quite see what it is, but whatever it is just goes back into the ocean.
Question.
Oh, yep.
Oh, sorry, just question. Do Uno and the kids see this?
You know, yes. I let me jump to Uno. Uno, how have you just been sort of on like lookout and just like asking if these lot are okay?
Yeah, it was like, and so the crane like fell, obviously, and Uno would immediately have been on the lookout for what caused that. But Chad was going wild with Theo, so I didn't really want to.
That's fair.
Yeah, also, I guess you had the final thoughts. Yeah.
Do interrupt me and do things and say things. My characters just are very big sometimes, and absolutely just bonk them, and me, just bonk them.
No worries,
Noted.
you're valid.
Noted. I get that. So we've been on the lookout, so I would can Uno attempt to do a retaliatory strike against whatever it was that hit?
Yeah, sort of like leaping on that moment.
Yes.
Okay. Genuinely, honestly, I think that might be exchange blows.
Yeah, okay.
Oh boy. Just like I'm just imagining it's like a moment like Theo's leaning out, Aiolos is like attempting to reposition himself so he can look back, and then this like cut happens.
Yeah, like I say that it's only a risk because it cut you, but I think it's actually in actuality the blade like carves across the back of the Astir, but also is able to like nick you. So I guess the general turn of instead of bleeding, I guess like rate, because that also accounts for both the pilot and the Astir being damaged in that hit. Ooh, that is an 8. Okay.
Okay.
So we have this swift action that happens and takes Theodore by behind, and as soon as it hits the sort of like the peak of that swift action,
you just back. Checking the tags on my weapon real fast. Obviously.
I guess the one of twos leaps into fucking action. With that 7 to 9.
But this is a very cool image as well. I kind of.
It's good.
Yeah. I know what my kid will be doing after this too. Be a lookout.
That's what that is.
Yeah. Okay. So you succeed with the action as above, which is Oh no, so never mind. Both you and your target are forced to take a risk.
I should know the weapon one of two is using is the Spell Cannon Mark III. So that's a range. That's just a huge just energy blast.
Just
Amazing.
piercing
Okay,
through the
That's
water.
one of two's main weapon.
I'm imagining something comes up and like whacks him, and then like and it's just like shot like right by the face, like
Yeah,
right.
just a huge red
Yeah.
laser.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
Yeah,
like, right in the
exactly.
nuts, just like oh.
Yeah.
Just like Theo needs to duck a bit, it is at this point that Aiolos just about scrambles out of the Astir's grasp.
Okay, yeah. If you didn't do that, Theo was getting ready to throw you.
Yeet.
We do not need the child here when there are whatever that is.
Yes. So
The child is planning to attack you with a med-aid kit, thank you very much.
right, so
So,
I am gonna
which risk do I mark down?
I wonder what this is. Oh,
Thank
cool.
you, Obi.
So, you are able to pinpoint and just essentially snipe this enemy mech that appeared from the ocean. You see this sort of like live, long, very segmented mech design sort of like appear for a moment, and really truly appear because it seemed to have been cloaked in some way, and that cloaking is now disappearing. So you have given this this enemy mech the danger, like, not pissed, but I'm just gonna put down pissed for now. You kind of like pierced through like one of the shoulder plates of the mech, and it kind of like its arm dangles down a little bit, but it's still holding itself together, so it's only a risk. You, however, the 2 of 1 takes the risk, Sid, as you also get attacked from behind, and some of the wiring of the mech that like runs across the 2 of 1 sort of like would it like melt together? Would it? Because this is it like the mech is made for fire, so it's gonna be heat resistant in some way. But this is something direct and up close and targeted. So would it like melt some of the wiring?
Yeah, it's like how like firefighters have their special suits, but if you took a blowtorch to one of them, they'd still be able to put a hole in it.
So you take the risk, Sid.
Is that okay? On the quick sheet, I think that one's just marked as on fire.
Yeah, I mean, I think the quick sheet is literally just like examples of
similar concept.
Yeah.
Too hot.
Too hot.
So I'll mark that down.
I guess it's a good thing we're next to the sea right now.
Except that that's where the thing is.
Yeah.
Right. Aiolos, you said you had something to do after this all kicked off.
Yeah, so like this pretty dang awesome shoot off happens, but Aiolos does have an aid and repair kit.
Oh shit.
So while the attacking happens, he like scrambles over closer to Theo and just kind of smacks him on the shoulder, tells him to turn around, and he'll patch him up real quick.
We take a quick
Band-aid on his face.
Yeah. You can always
Pay
tend to
attention.
minor injuries or damages.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So like I figured that should resolve the bleeding risk.
You know what? That is fair. You do have that gear on you. I'm just wondering if there is a specific move that you were doing, because
Yeah.
Because it's the sort of thing where it's like you don't have to roll cool off for it, but you know what? You might get roll. Roll, yeah, no. Roll the move Cool Off with advantage, which is basically roll 3d6, and take the highest 2 dice plus your modifier.
Okay.
So yeah.
So 3d6.
Plus
am I
any modifier that you think is appropriate in this situation.
okay? Let me just double check. What are the different stats? Sense, perhaps, just simply to pay attention to what the wound is and how that would be patched together.
Gotcha.
If you're using Outrage to roll, by the way, you can do roll 3d6 and then with no space type KH2, and that'll keep your highest 2.
Sweet.
And then you can add your mod after that.
Oh, that's only a 9, but hey, that's a 7 to 9 type roll. On 7 to 9 adds above, but you just
It's an 8, it didn't knock out the 1.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an 8. Okay. Oh, that's still 7 to 9. So you're able to have them untick the risk, but your moment of safety is interrupted, which is fair because you didn't really retreat from that.
Yeah, we're still.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still right there with the upper mech.
Yeah. You're talking. You were talking about where's the elemental? Well, here it is. As the elemental was the one who lacerated the one of 2, it snakes through the fires that have been like crawling across the warehouses on the corners of the dock, and it now makes itself present in front of you guys. This is a very long dragon-like being. It's composed completely of the toonish blue fire that you're all familiar with that plagues this of the city. But it has front and back claws that are tipped with like hot white blade-like limbs. It has a tail that thrashes wildly and it leaves a fiery trail, but it also looks sharp within itself. And the most prominent thing about it is that the draconic head is like surrounded in a main like inferno, but where the eyes should be is in these 2 long bull-like horns that shoot out in front of it, and it just opens its mouth with a serrated jaw of flame teeth, and it just crackles.
So that image absolutely slaps. The Aiolos in my head is once again swearing. So I think, Theodore, you're going to be shoved back into your mech.
Hey.
No time to rest.
Yeah, hey Liz.
Another enemy.
Would it be accurate if Theodore was like, damn, their character design just keeps getting better.
Yo, it keeps stepping up.
It's like,
oh my
it's definitely like these things are advancing and evolving much, but it's also just like, oh, they just keep getting cooler.
I'm definitely. Oh my god! You just reminded me of. Trad, did you ever read? Did you ever read Dungeon Meshi?
Not
okay.
Yeah, it's been on my thinky list.
It's just very the main character vibe of like, yo, this thing can absolutely kill me, but it looks sick as fuck, and like I'm now trying to wonder if there's been enough of these kind of elemental beasts where a specific subsection of people would have just tried to make toys of them. In
Oh
the
my
same way that
goodness.
people made toys of the mechs and the kaiju in Pacific Rim.
Yeah. Well, I feel like because you said they've only
I don't know
started
little
to
Buffalo.
become like sentient creatures in the last like 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough time for someone to like
There's
for-
garage
for-
kit.
yeah, like just for small businesses to start making toys like that. That's enough time.
Oh god, terrible, horrible, love it, incredible. No, yeah. So, this thing is making itself known. Anyone want to leap into action here? You got a mech in the water and a fire dragon in front of you.
Don't know which one you want.
I'll take the mech.
Hell yeah. All right.
I'll stick to the elemental. Can't exactly go in the water easy.
All right, it's you and me, kid. Let's extinguish this fire with our burning souls.
Let's get this over with. And Aiolos pulls out that rather nice sword of his.
Yeah. Theodore equips the ice cannon, is getting ready to start running forward. And where is the conflict spots?
Okay, let's see. I guess this would be exchange blows.
I guess so. When you exchange
Yeah.
both your foes capable of defending themselves, well, clash or talk, whatever is more appropriate. Right. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if, since the both of you are going at this thing, do one of you want to roll help or hinder to help the other on the action, or?
Yeah, actually, I think Aiolos will roll to help Theodore. Remind me how help or hinder works again.
Gotcha. When you help or hinder someone to influence their attempt to do something, roll if you've got certain plus ones. We haven't done actually, I can ask that. It doesn't mean if it was in a downtime. Okay. It says roll with +1 if you spent meaningful time together before this sortie. +1 if they helped or hindered you previously this sortie, or +1 if they're part of one of your hooks. Do we have hooks with each other? I thought we had clocks.
We have clocks.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
I don't think that is in the hooks then. So I'm willing to count the playing cards being meaningful time.
Cool. Is this then like a 2d6 plus would this be a 1 or a 2?
This will just be a 1.
Okay.
Oh no, it'll be 2d6 plus 1.
Okay. Dice, please be kinder to me. A 7.
Oh yeah, that's a mixed success. Alright. So on a 10 plus, they take advantage if you're helping, but on a 7 to 9, it's as above, but you become entangled in the consequence of their actions and possibly cause them. Cool. But you have successfully given the advantage to Theodore.
Cool. This probably happens because, like, sure, the sword is nice, and if you look at it, oh, that's like, you can see kind of some ice crystals kind of glint off. So yeah, he definitely causes a distraction. It definitely gives Theo the advantage. He's right up in the action as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we got a 9. A 9 on exchange blows. Again, you are both forced to take a risk. So describe to me how you said you're coming at it with the ice cannon.
Yeah, Theodore is hitting it with the ice cannon and starting to run towards it to get in range to use the force blade.
It's fair. So just pelting it rapidly with the ice that sort of like, you know how when you have ice freeze, water freeze in a certain angle, it has those sort of like spike blowbacks. Like it just is able to consume the shape of the fire temporarily in these sharp angles before like shattering, but you're able to sort of like force it back so it doesn't come at you at full speed. That is very much trying to do. This dragon seems to be, you don't see it as enough, but it seems vicious as it charges at you, even though you're able to slow it down with the force cannon. It is still rushing and snarling, but then it leaps and it seems to be so much lighter than it appears to be, as it almost like glides through the air. And as it glides, it just sort of, something spirals and hawks at the back of its throat, and then just a rupture of fire just gushes down towards you. And you are going to take a risk from Lush. I feel like it's more the force of heat than anything that comes at you. But yeah, you both are gonna take a risk from this. Cool. Wait a second. Yes, you and Aiolos are gonna take a risk from this because you helped, but you are also going to take a risk. Take a closer look at this list of risks. Yeah, on fire. You guys are both just sincerely straight up just on fire. Like, I don't think Ungori likes this. Ungori does not like this.
Onigiri does not like this. I think right now, Aiolos looks ready to jump into the sea. Like, there's just this toonish fire on, like, his jacket and a bit on Onigiri, and there's just this moment as, like, essentially, Aiolos just, like, slaps the flame off of Onigiri.
Theodore is not responding, just looking determined and, continuing to lean towards the fight, but does ask Aiolos if they need to disengage.
I think, like, Aiolos will mention he may need to run to the sea briefly, but he can keep on fighting.
Cool beans.
Right. You make your way to the sea?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Theodore throws him.
Yay!
Yeah. There's just like let me walk myself. He's just thrown. There's just a splash.
Yeah, just a splash. I'm gonna let you have this because I don't know what the situation is with the other side of the thing. I'll jump to that, but I will say there's this very interesting like a shot of like the camera's all in the water, and then you see Aiolos just like splashing cannonball style, letting the flames sort of like melt away. And it would be the case with normal fire that it as soon as you touch the water, it would be gone, snuffed. But there's this very weird sensation of like the flame still lingering on your person, but slowly but surely like going out. Like embers in a burnt piece of wood, like how it can still have that faint glow within. But no, it's weird, but it does go out, and you get that. But to rewind just a little bit, as you were facing off against the fire dragon elemental, we cut to Uno and in the one of two. What was your approach with dealing with the other side of the problem?
I'm gonna attempt something slightly more unorthodox. I would like to roll channel to attempt to have one of two, like, grab and hold the Astir in place so it can't retreat into the ocean.
Okay.
So if this works, I'll describe it in more detail. We'll see.
So is this channel for weave magic?
Yes,
Nice.
and I get a +2 because I already have a risk because
Gotcha.
of my class.
You're fucking take a risk,
You're a
baby.
disaster.
I only have the one risk at the moment.
That's fair.
This team is doing great.
This is how the class works.
This is
Why-
how. Yeah, this
why
is.
are you saying it?
Why are you yelling at me?
Why are you booing? I'm right.
Yeah, but
Okay.
teasing is fun, and I can call out the fact that Aiolos and Theo both got lit
First off,
on
I can do
fire.
that. All right, that's clearly a fail. So I'm gonna do heat up.
Oh shit! Yep.
For that one, to retry that. So let me tick that real fast, and then I also get something else because the hot-blooded move I have. Tick that. I get 1 hold, and I can spend 3 once I have them. So I'll mark that down. And I don't think I do anything else at the moment. No. Okay. And then I will retry that roll. There we go.
Nice. Yep.
The second one was a 12. Yeah, so the way they're attempting to do that, so I mentioned before how one of two has a lot of like tubes that weave through them. From like the sides, 2 of them just like pull off, and the red liquid inside just kind of shoots out and makes like just like chains into the water.
Oh fuck yeah! Yeah.
Ooh,
And like
nice.
like just pulling, heaving out of the ocean, the sort of tubes, and fucking snake its way into the ocean and curl around the invisible form and just yanks, and you just fling this this form, this mechanism onto dry land, and you can see the water dripping off it as the cloaking starts to dissipate once again. And I think honestly, you give it the thingy. Yeah, you can you're up for doing another action on it right now. Honestly, I would give you advantage because it is restrained.
Nice. I
You
guess.
have yoinked it.
You have yoinked it.
Guess in that case, I'll roll exchange blows, I suppose.
Fuck yeah.
Let me check other thing real fast. What is that?
Shout out to Jazz for like actually comprehending this system and like building a mechanically like really cool thing.
Yeah,
And like
yeah,
running it.
yeah.
So I have advantage for the strike, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. It is flash. 3d6 keep highest 2. It's an 11.
That's an 11, baby. Yeah, that will
Hey.
that will definitely do it. I believe you applied the risk to it without taking the risk yourself. Yes, either on a 10 plus, either your opponent takes a risk or you take a risk and put your opponent in peril. As a reminder, risks are stuff that you can get rid of during the sortie, but perils are stuff that you can only get rid of in downtime. Basically, you cannot do it during this one shot. So
Okay. I was gonna say it's tempting, but if it doesn't really entirely matter, then I won't worry about it.
yeah, but again, you said that you're it's like one move that I can potentially do is that if the enemy has a risk and it has an opportunity, it could lose the risk. But if you give it a peril, then it's you're damn it to losing this fight essentially. And you would get a risk, which again, looking at your build, is not as bad as it seems. Not as bad as it seems.
Brutal efficiency.
All right.
Brutal
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put a peril on my.
Let's go.
So, like, the tubes, just like the liquid that's like just it like shoots from the tubes, yanks out of the water, and they plug back in, and immediately Uno just like brings the two arms together and just like dead shot right for the center of the Astir.
Oh, great.
Hey. Yes. I just want to say I love the
I guess I'll take a
dichotomy
risk, whichever
of.
one you determine I should take.
I just want to say I love the dichotomy of Uno genuinely being awesome and getting the job done. Meanwhile, in the background.
This is what they do.
This is what they do.
That's what they do.
Uno, you take the risk whiplash as you basically just get into core stances, leveling the cannon and taking the shot. And while you are acting with such like direct, efficient action, the wires are also resetting and getting back into place, but they just recoil a little bit too hard, and they start throwing stuff out of just it's acting a little too rough, and stuff is getting knocked off balance. Yeah.
That's what happens when you're powered by liquid.
Mhm.
It happens.
But yeah, you
Water
have
hammer.
fucking
Yep.
pierced this.
What did you say that risk was? I
I
don't see it on the quick sheet, so I'm.
Whiplash?
Oh, I just said whiplash. I just spun it
Okay.
off the top of my head. So
That's fine. I just need to know what to mark down.
I need to put down the danger because this one has been used. Pissed, and now chauffeur. No, yeah. With the you have not winded. Oh, you have basically doubled over this mech. Like the point blank shot has changed its position. Like it. The glimpses of it that you saw had it be in these very regal, pointed forms, but now it seems to be hunched over in this like weird. You could see it as a curl, almost fetal position, but you can also see it as being animalistic in nature, with its long neck that ends in this sort of like bird-like beak. And since you're such close quarters, a fun thing about the fun thing about Astirs is that they can have close communications. So you hear, would Uno have like the funky mech displays, like for communications inside of the mech? Would it be something more magical, like just instant connection of information? What kind of receiving display, what have you?
Because of how Uno's mech works, like how they plug into it, there isn't any display that appears in the cockpit because they kind of like merge.
Yes, yeah.
So if there were displays, they'd be around the Astir's head instead.
Okay. That's fun.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I do like that thing of like the Astir having some where it's sort of like sensory cameras would be. There is also this kind of like external bigger display that you can see, like almost in its periphery, and you just see the scowling face of the meanest lack of like. This is a kind of person that you would have seen when you were back in the center of the city, a kind of posh person who circles meetings and galas and stuff like that, and
You've got to stick up their ass.
Yeah, fucking smiling a little too wide, a little too much gun, trying to please anybody who smells like they're higher up than them, just to go up a little bit of a rung. But she is
smiling, but in a way they're ready to bite your face off.
Yeah, but she is absolutely snarling, and I can say that because this is a very typical standard tune of the area, but she has specific cat ears that are pinned back, and she just says, "Stand down."
Angie cat girl.
Angie,
You attacked us.
Angie cat girl.
I had a job to do, and if you don't want to lose your pretty little mech, I would advise you get out of here.
Uno just like throws one of the armbacks and gestures the giant flame dragon.
I want to say it's at this point that you do see Theo and Aiolos just having at it with the dragon.
I just know the image of Theo throwing Aiolos in the background.
Actually, it's even better. Yeah.
Specifically with like the distance character models that are like 3 polygons. He's just hitting and like spread eagle a splash.
Like a few moments later, like Aiolos is scrambling back out, sopping wet.
Yeah,
just like, Theo, I'm going to make you regret that.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah.
You're not in fire anymore, are you?
I'm not, but I'm still going to get you.
Uno, time to be cool. The contrast on this team.
Uno, please be the friend self. Thank you, we love you.
No, to frame it back with Uno though, like I will give you that, like, you have sincerely really gotten this leg on its last legs. You could even say that this mech is defenseless, and this is the sort of snarling words of someone who is backed up against the wall.
That is a question. What I'm thinking is, do I kill now, or do I channel to try and restrain them again? So you can question them.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's very much, you can definitely do a decisive strike in order to, like, make sure the mech is not moving, but
Okay, so I can strike and destroy the mech without killing the pilot?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, I would attempt to do that.
Alrighty. Point incentive.
Just a second, think. Hold on, one of... Is it? Yeah, okay, that's how that works. So it's a clash roll. Roll. 1. Sorry, I keep checking the weapon I've got because it's got versatile, and I'm making sure.
That's fair.
Versatile, and then blitz is the other thing. Okay. I'm going to use the versatile to reroll that.
Oh, gotcha.
Versatile is decisive and defensive, which the decisive is once per scene I could reroll a failed strike decisively. That was
two ones.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oi! That's still a 5.
That is...
Oh god. So that was a 5, which is a hard fail. Yeah. So whenever people do a hard fail, I get to do a move as hard as I want, per the general rules of Powered by the Apocalypse.
Oh boy.
So attempts to fire the cannon point blank again.
So
how does this backfire?
So this so you have the point blank fire, the point blank fire of the gun. Wait, come on, brain. Also, hold on, give me a second.
Yeah.
Right, let's start that again. You have the gun pointed point blank, but the enemy mech, the enemy Astir, like raises their hands in sort of like, it's half-hearted, but they raise their hands in like I surrender, which is usually a sign of like the pilot will eject, but they still have their sort of like weapon sheath, like it's kind of attached to their wrist, and it seems to be like this long pole arm. But then the pole arm changes from being like this straight point into a hook, and then the you hear a roaring fire sound again as the dragon peels off from where it was fighting Theo in this moment of like the trying to step back from the conflict, the fight, and the pole arm hooks onto the lower jaw of the dragon, and it just gets hoisted up into the air as it sort of like gives itself space into some area in the middle of the sort of like buildings up closer to the wall of where stuff is piled off, so you weren't able to get to the final strike. The mech is currently sailing with the dragon like a kite in the wind.
Oh boy. Come back to Theo, I guess.
Can we get like a photo of that?
Freeze frame.
Welcome to Polympia.
Like, honestly speaking, do like cell phones exist? Because if I could take an action, I'd want to say this is when Aiolos gets out of the water, sees that, just takes a photo. The phone would have been in time or space, even if he's not dry, the phone is.
Yeah. Oh god, I really like that idea of just like a really, what's the sort of like.
They're described chiefly because they try and describe it to the captain later, and none of them like can actually like say any, like neither of them can describe it well, and then Aiolos just comes up and holds up a cell phone.
Yes.
with the selfie he took during the fight.
That's exactly it. Like
he's just sopping wet in the corner of the photo, meanwhile in the background.
With like a really disinterested looking like peace sign.
Yeah.
There's like the most deadest deadpans expressions with a peace sign, and then you see in the background the dragon carrying away the mech. Aiolos is also gonna go back to Theodore now. Just like, there's a brief moment where you hear like a donk as he hits the legs of Theo's Astir with the sheath of the sword. He is now ready to get back into action. Thank you, Mom! Thank you, Mom!
I think I was not expecting the Diffy Fresh, but I expect it.
Uno, was that a win?
Uno, you could just see Uno just kind of do a seesaw motion with that hand.
Hey, Uno, you're not dead either, yes?
No.
That mech obviously just moved. And Astir can't move. Kid, we've been over that. Anyway. Well,
At some point during this, Uno is while Theo's doing their thing, I'd like to just use the heat condensers
Got you.
to untake overheating.
Yeah. Yeah, it's steam releasing.
Yeah, Theo, you know, pounds one of the mech's fists into the other hand's like, alright, well, let's get this fire under control and we can deal with whatever that was.
Yeah.
Ready,
All right,
team?
You have those buckets with you, right?
What? Out of character. What buckets? What buckets are we talking about?
Just because buckets, because, you know, putting out water.
Oh. It's like...
Well, putting out fire, not water. I'm a sane person, I swear.
I think Theodore laughs and then like slaps Aiolos on the back and said,
While still in the mech?
Yeah. Yeah, while still in the mech. It's not harm, it doesn't hurt, but it's not gentle.
Yeah, I know, I'm just Aiolos stumbles.
Kid, that joke gets funnier every time you say it. Let's go!
just like raises a hand, but also just rubbing his back.
Onigiri definitely took the brunt of it.
Yeah. I think you might need to be careful, Theo. Onigiri might try taking a bite out of your mech's hand.
It's metal.
You think that matters?
I think it's slightly harder than flesh.
It's yeah, very crunchy. Be Wild would be proud.
Oh boy, no. God, if you guys are not pursuing the flyaway mech and the dragon, who seems to be like hopping from.
Wait, is pursuit an option?
I mean,
Yeah,
you can, but we can also have it or be like, this is. We may need to rethink what we need to do. We can go either way. Pursuit is an option.
Mm-hmm.
like, cause I guess the main fault right now is to put out fire and make sure people are okay.
That's true. That's true.
Mhm.
That's fair.
I should ask. I should ask this: would using the heat condensers get rid of my on fire risk?
I don't know.
You can say no. I just realized that might be.
Yeah, I think that might be doubling up a bit too much. Like it's internal cooling, but there may be still fires on the
Gotcha.
on the body.
Okay. In that vein, in terms of pursuit, the spell cannon is a ranged weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot them down.
Uno can literally just cover from the
Shoot them
ground.
down.
Uno can just cover from the ground if we do want to do pursuit. Or if I'm allowed to try and shoot it again.
I think if you try and shoot at it, it might be at disadvantage at this space because there's
I need sniper range.
there's range and then there's sniper, and I do not believe you
Yeah.
have sniper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, noted.
Yeah, but yeah, pursuit is definitely an option. Also, being like, I want to prioritize people is also a thing that you guys can pivot towards, but that would be more of a narrative thing, and then you know it depends on where you guys are at.
Okay.
Theodore absolutely, I think, would pursue, not because of the mech, but because that's a fire dragon.
Yeah,
We're trying to let the fire
dragon
dragons
out. Yeah,
places.
Yeah. Like, I know.
And like, we got fire under control. Like, we've got a really good and capable crew. That's a fire dragon.
that's
It's
fair.
getting away.
Yeah, maybe chase
Yeah.
the fire dragon.
Yeah. I like. Yeah, Aiolos is down to shoot down a dragon. It's not the first time, really. Don't worry about that. And
Okay.
and like, yeah, if the fire is under control and it's all good, yeah, absolutely down to go chase.
Okay. No, yeah.
Brambles back onto. Do we want to say he goes with Theo or with Uno?
Maybe climb on the mech that's not on fire.
Oh, that's true. Theo.
Theo's also on fire.
Oh.
Remember?
Oh.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah, they're good. They're on
there's-
fire.
There is a brief moment where, like, Aiolos is ready to go jump on one of them, and it's just, both of you jump into this D. I can't climb on you right now.
Theodore's not listening. Theodore's already running. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. Using one of the holds to get somewhere or something before others can. And
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh my god.
it just straight up and jumping off of buildings.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you're not getting away.
Uno has no eyes. You can feel them roll them anyway. As
Aiolos is face palming.
I don't think I said this. I was sort of imagining one of two to have kind of a mouth of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
So I just imagine, like, they don't do this often, like they haven't planned on it, but if they have, because the rest of them is on fire, they're gonna have to resort to scruffing the child to face after Theodore.
Yeah,
The
okay.
fucking lying cub technique. I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so Aiolos climbs up and is holds
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, Aiolos
hard.
can, like, after a certain point, Aiolos can, like, scramble onto part of the head that is not too
On
hot
fire.
to hold.
Yeah.
Hold
It's
it,
fine.
grab onto it too. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, he'll do that.
Gotcha. So, what was the specific move that you used, Theodore? Was it?
Mobility.
Mm-hmm.
One of the holds from earlier. It's get somewhere or get to somewhere or something before others can. I like. I'll actually spend both. Get to somewhere or something before others can, and acquire a high ground or defensible position, which will use all of my holds.
Gotcha.
So Theodore wants to run ahead of where Catgirl and Fire Dragon are fleeing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cat
like,
Girl
get
and
to
Fire Dragon feels like it could be a movie name.
It was one of the lost Flash games.
yeah.
Yeah.
Waterboy and Lava Girl move out the way. Catgirl and Fire Dragon are in town.
Yes.
So yeah, Theodore wants to jump, vault, run, swing, whatever, to a spot where they're getting ready to be, like in front of them,
Mm-hmm.
and like on top of one of the buildings,
Gotcha.
and get ready to swing down, pulling out the sword.
Gotcha. If you're, I will say, like, yeah, you are basically beating them ahead of the curve. Like, you can intuit the sort of like pathways, because you could tell when you're chasing them, and you saw like the tail end is that they're kind of following the roads area and like are slipping between buildings. And there is a blazing trail being sort of quietly sparked up behind it, but then once you know where it's going to go, you can just spring ahead on top of buildings and definitely like skirt there, and yeah, you can just wait, and if so be it, you are separated from your group, but you can spring into action there and act accordingly.
Take a couple of detours, a couple of like definitely like stepping on top of like someone's like rooftop, like
shingle sliding
restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's just like dodging in between like the patrons.
My cabbages.
Oh man,
That's poor Goose Tune.
Yeah, lying in wait.
Yep.
Revving up the chainsaw ice sword.
Yeah.
Hey.
Facing down, ready to round 2 to attack this fire dragon. This is an exchange blows.
Slap him in the face.
So are we waiting? Are Uno and Aiolos doing something, or am I exchanging blows right now?
Depends, because
I think you got there before we did.
Yeah,
so.
you definitely got there before them. So
okay.
You can definitely, and I will say, you can either exchange blows for the fire dragon, or you can strike decisively with the mech.
Fire dragon. That's what Theo's focused on
Gotcha.
right now. So clash. Dun 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 dun. 6 + 3 + 1 for a 10.
Fuck
barely by this.
Your team.
Hey, but you got it.
But hey, you can apply either a risk or give yourself a risk and add a peril to the thingy.
I think I'll give myself a risk, because this thing has like gone further into the city. So
you want to lock it down?
Yeah, I want to lock it down and get it knocked out of here.
So with that action, the thing that I'm imagining is that you got that chainsaw down and you're just like holding your ground as the dragon like sort of like is bounding towards you, and you just like swing it and it carves through the dragon, but it creates a sort of like ring of ice sort of around its torso, and then you like slam the chainsaw into the ground, and you basically not only damage and slow it down, but you restrain it, like you lock it into place, because that was its other risk, and it is now vulnerable, defenseless too. So it's susceptible to a decisive strike.
Yes.
Hey.
I think the risk I'm taking might just be another heat, because I'm just running straight up into the thing.
Yeah. That is fair. And yeah, with that action taken, you two are able to make it into this space as well. Dragon is thrashing, and everyone in this area is piecing out. Luckily,
as it goes.
Yeah, luckily, Clint's places, the other two are making their way in, but again, floor is your
Making
action.
our way downtown, walking fast.
Walking faster.
And dragon falls out of the sky, walking faster.
Right now, but both of them are vulnerable, so you guys can do your attempts once again.
Yeah, I think the next two have Uno and Ace caught up yet, and are they gonna do the decisive strikes?
So the dragon and the mech they've like climbed up. Are they like climbed up anything, or are they like in the middle of the street?
They're both in the middle of the street. Like the dragon is flailing about. The mech is hilariously, since they've been impacted so much by the sort of like the shots Uno have done, and it's like essentially limping, is kind of stuck on the dragon, like it's trying to unhook the sort of like shepherd's hook shifting partisan like from it, and it seems to be struggling, so they're both in positions.
I figure maybe it's smarter if Uno does the move first and then Aiolos.
I put forth. Yeah. I hand this concept to both of you. Aiolos with Giant Slayer killing the mech.
You do have Giant Slayer.
I kind of want to do that. Yeah.
All right. In that case, Uno's going to, I suppose, attempt to shoot the dragon instead. Or I guess Uno will. Actually, we want to do this in character. Uno will kind of bow a little to let Aiolos off onto the ground instead of throwing him Theo style. Kid is allowed to just climb down on his own. Uno asks.
I think it's funnier if Theo is prone, and you.
Uno is going to let Aiolos down and ask, which one do you want to take?
I'll take the mech.
So, Uno nods and attempts to fire at the dragon.
Good luck.
So it's an exchange blows for the dragon still.
Nope, this is strike decisively.
Oh, it is strike decisively. Okay. Roll clash. A
10, baby.
He's not missing this one.
He ain't missing this shot.
Ain't missing this one.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so
He's like, no.
She lets Aiolos down and just kind of rears back, fires up the cannon.
Boom. This sort of the heat breaks. Is almost like a coating that is over this fire, and once the dragon was there, second time, boom, just like a puff of a slight smoke and explosion, and the dragon is gone. Alright, dragon down. And now we have the mech.
So the katana is back out, and I believe this is then strike decisively, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, that's definitely gonna be clash. Do not look at me for talk.
Purposes. You don't want to talk down the mech pilot?
This kid? No, he wants to destroy. So the katana has the blitz effect. So I'm going to go ahead and activate that so that this attack is in confidence.
Oh, I see.
Hell yeah.
Ain't gonna mess this up.
I sure hope. Okay, 2d6 plus clash, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an
Oh.
11, baby.
That's an 11. So, it's a little funny just seeing this kid run over surprisingly fast, rather acrobatically, and just slice off the joints of this mech's legs. With it just kind of comes a burst of ice, and then like 1, 2, it breaks. Like the mech is, well, I'd say it's on his knees, but the knees aren't connected anymore. And I think the kid probably just does an extra stab in the mech itself to make sure before walking over to Theo.
Oh, great. The mech just crumples even more and it's in pieces on the street.
I will be real with you, Aiolos should probably be a little bit more respectful, but no, he's just gonna go over to Theo and whack his mech again. Oi, I know it turned out well, but did you really have to run off that early?
You go to thwack the mech, and it is searing hot.
The sheath is fine. It's the sheath for an ice sword.
It sizzles.
Yeah, just you know that when water is on the when it hits a hot stove, just a brief sound of that.
Woo! We really brought the heat this time, team. Don't worry, everyone. It's all taken care of.
People poking their head out from places and...
I was gonna ask if I could attempt. I don't know if I can use this one. Can I roll channel to attempt to cool off?
Oh, 100%.
I don't know if channel is a stat that I can use for that.
Yeah, channel is definitely a stat for that. That's your
Okay.
I do magic stat.
Okay.
Well, I'm just... Yeah, Theo says that Aiolos is just, you're on fire.
It's like, give it a second, kid.
No.
Damn, good roll. 12.
Yo, nice.
Yeah, it's like at a +3, my modifier is reduced. But you can just everything's fine, everything's under control, and you can just see there's vents that open up in one of two, and just red smoke just pours out.
Nice.
Hey.
Theo is gonna roll channel as well. To at least yeah. Dun, 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 dun,
I didn't even need to use barrier.
6,
Yeah.
7, 10.
Hey.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Hey.
What? Dun. So I think that at least take off one of the risks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the mech is no longer.
Neither of us are on fire anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Theo is still slightly, because I had 2 heat perils.
Oh, okay.
I think Theo is experiencing heat stroke.
Can
Theodore's not saying any of this. We need to deal with whatever this is.
I know, but can Aiolos throw a bottle of water at his face?
No, their cover's down.
Oh well.
You can shove it up underneath the cover at him.
Oh, yeah, actually, can I say this happens in character? You see on Aiolos' face that he wants to throw the water bottle at Theo, but it's just like the cover's over. And then Uno just pipes up, you can shove it under the cover, and he's like,
No,
Ah.
I wouldn't say that.
oh well. So what about it getting shoved under, like, from underneath?
Mhm.
Does Theo take it?
I think Theodore's not paying attention. I think you managed to like shove it in between the like harness. He'll notice it later.
Okay.
Tuck it in.
Yeah, like, just good enough. Aiolos
Tuck
looks.
it.
Yeah, Aiolos walks up to take a look. See, should should any of us like look at the mech? Who's inside it? Look at the Astir. Like
Theo-
Aiolos said this in character, by the way.
Mhm. Uno, you engage with them. What's up with that?
Someone who believes in some sort of higher cause.
Well, they're gonna have to deal with being brought down a couple of notches. Theo's gonna like slice open the mech. Can Theo slice open the mech?
You
Try
can.
and grab whoever, expose whoever's in there.
I've been imagining just like, you get closer to the mech and you just hear just like the sound of someone pounding on the sort of like, on the cockpit door.
Mhm.
Like the door is stuck, and then it just like rapidly like kicking like dun, 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 dun.
Wait, I amend that question. Can I just slice out the cockpit?
Yes, you can. Oh, just like the entire cockpit
Contained.
I can't believe they're in a cat carrier.
Yeah.
You see her face pressed up against the glass as you carry the.
Aiolos sticks his tongue out at her.
She does the thing where you like pull down your eye and shows a blink of your eyelids and stick out her tongue, and she goes back to like to banging at it. You can see her talking, but you can't hear her. Oh, that's so funny.
We'll attempt to open the communications channel.
Oh, Josata. Man, Golex is not really common here, but Jesus Christ. Where did you come from? DreamWorks? It's got a mouth on her. Passing
Can I how easy is it to hear this? I'm asking for totally innocent reasons.
I will say,
It's tall, but like they're hunched over the thing at the moment a little bit.
The reason why I'm asking is because, yes, Aiolos would indeed like to hear all the fun curse words he'd learned that way.
Funny words.
funny. No, yeah. What did you say about? You said something about bending over.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So just because one of two is like the tallest here, they'll kind of. They're just kind of leaning over a little, so because the interface is with their mech's head instead of the cockpit, like any other Astir.
Yeah.
So they're like, I guess squatting is a decent word. I don't know. You can do that. Describe that with this kind of. At some point, I'll draw what their mech looked like.
Yeah.
But they're just like hunched over, so Theo and Aiolos can hear.
Yes, Aiolos gets to learn so many new swear words today.
Yeah. No, it's a whole bunch of Golex swear words and hoity-toity, you rule this day, kind of like talking about some faction you don't really know the term of, and just like how this had to go undisturbed, and you ruined it, and you ruined it, and you ruined it, and just part
If it
Ron
weren't for
can't
you
catch him.
meddling kids.
Uno just goes, "That's nice, dear," and shuts the channel off.
That's the channel. Great. That's a fantastic
goodness.
image of you guys like heading back to the hangar to, I guess, deposit this egg. The nearest, like,
Can I tell you? Can I describe what I imagine? It's like just like. So like they're going back. Aiolos is sitting on one of the two's Astirs, and the other is actually bringing it back. But when they land, Aiolos just yells out, "Hey, Captain, we got something for you."
I'm
Oh.
debating between, just shoving it, just plopping it in front of her with no explanation.
Mhm.
We got you a gift.
How's the warehouses?
The fire got to them quicker than we could, so a lot of materials were destroyed, but we didn't see any casualties, so I believe everyone evacuated in time. We are locating them to safe houses. Not many residential places were actually affected in the fire, but I believe the wolf is going to be out of commission, and I am going to have a very long conversation with this person about why. And she like puts her boot on the sort of like door of the cockpit and just like looks into the glass and just still seeing the cat girl just scrabbling around.
Lo and behold, an angry cat girl.
Mm-hmm.
But you all did a good job. It's a shame about it spreading up to that district up there with the restaurants, but you did good.
Oh, they're fine.
Yeah.
Theodore visibly like brightens up under the praise.
Aww. Aiolos attempts to look cool and just does a nod.
Mm-hmm. Just a single rub of her like her face, and then she like turns to the three of you, nods and goes, "Alright, you're dismissed."
Ma'am, yes,
Alright.
ma'am.
Oh baby. And I think with that we have got ourselves a goddamn one shot.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I just want to say I have one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
For when these three are going back to their bunks, and Aiolos pulls out from Ongiri's hammer space a piece of what you realize was the cat girl's mech and goes, "Hey you two, do you know what this is?"
Fade to black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is added with the collection of like some random kitten, a crate of apples, and now probably
Gun.
part of the gun, and now probably the finger of the mech that she was piloting.
Yes. Yep.
The end.
Oh, that was amazing.
This was great.
Delightful.
This was great.
Thank you all for playing. Again, this was Armour Astir by Briar Sovereign, a very funky mech game. And
This was great.
I'm glad we got to hit some things with ice.
Yeah. This was fantastic, Liz. Thank you.
This was a very good time.
This was very fun.
Yeah.
Alrighty, but we will
Shout out
say
to
goodnight.
Liz for just like running games in other systems for everyone can just like
Yeah.
experience it. By the way,
Oh
Sure.
yeah, and like you DM'd so well.
this is very good.
Mm.
Oh, thank you. Listen,
Liz, our beloved.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of fun games, and I like running games with friends. So, yes.
Yeah.
But that is it for now, so we shall say goodbye to the recording, and thank you for people for listening, live and otherwise.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.